News for Jax and Chief Meteorologist David Heckard. No doubt about it, Tuesday was a foggy day across the air. We had fog develop as early as midnight, 1 a.m., and it lingered all the way through the mid to late morning hours. In fact, some of us were still dealing with fog as late as 11 a.m. noontime. And this picture here kind of tells the story from World Golf Village by rocket scientists. Came in on Snapchat. Barely any visibility at all out there, and a lot of us dealt with that. But why was the fog so different this go-around? Why did it last so long? Well, we got to first off talk about how fog actually forms. So we need a couple of things. First off, we need clear skies, and the most important ingredient is light winds. And each time we get even a light breeze, sometimes that can prevent fog from actually developing. The second thing we need is moisture right at the lowest levels of the surface. We use a measurement called the dew point to measure the moisture at the surface. And when we start getting enough moisture around, we actually get very close to our air temperature. Next thing we need is cooler air right at the surface. Moist air does not absorb much heat, so the air oftentimes ends up being cooler right at the surface. And when we finally get our dew point to reach the air temperature, we've condensed the atmosphere. And what ends up happening is the moisture begins to turn into vapor and fog develops. The reason it lasted so long is what we call an inversion. Sometimes this is called a cap. What actually happened in the early morning hours was we had a layer in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. It was actually a little bit warmer than what was going on actually at the surface. That's a bit unusual in this part of the country because normally the warmest air is right at the ground. What ends up happening is until the warmer air is the equivalent of the cooler air, it's very difficult for fog to actually fade away, and that's why the fog just lasted on and on and on and on. We had to get the temperature right at the surface to be at, if not greater than what was going on in kind of the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And we do get quite a bit of fog, but it's primarily in the winter months. And you can see our map here of dense fog days by the region. Clearly the Northwest stands out, but other areas like the mountainous regions of West Virginia, North Carolina also have quite a few foggy days. For us, though, we vary about 20 to 30 foggy days a year. It's a little bit higher out towards our west near Tallahassee and a little bit lower as you move your way into parts of Volusia County and down into sections of Orlando. So a foggy Tuesday. We got more fog likely to deal with as we head through the rest of the upcoming week, and the fog lingering was mainly a product of that capping inversion in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. I'm Assistant Chief Meteorologist David Heckard for Channel 4, the local station.